What's going on YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry. I'm the crypto vet. Thank you for tuning back in. Sorry there hasn't been very many videos. I'm having a lot of issues with my editing software with the new updates. So I'm trying to get that all fixed, but I'm still streaming live on Twitch. So if you want to catch the live streams, as I said, I'm streaming every day of the week. Sometime between 12 and 1, I will be live for sure, if not earlier. But I'll definitely extend it out till 1 if I'm do it really early, but that way we can kind of get a picture of the markets, what they look like, and then if I have time, I usually record my videos during the stream, but this one I'm doing after just because it ran out of time and had some other meetings and stuff to go to. So if you like the content, you like that, please hit the like, hit the subscribe. I appreciate it so much. Couldn't do this without you guys, so I hope that the information is good and that it is deserving of your like and subscribe. If you haven't already, follow me on Twitter, XRP Veterinarian, where I do post charts and things like that. Like the most recent thing I did disagree with something on BitBoy on XRP, but also links, Twitch, Discord, all that down below in the whatever that's called. Discussion, there's comments down there, down below, description, that's the word. If we head over to CoinMarketCap, we can see market's not looking the best today. We're down about 4% on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is leading the market right now. A lot of individuals who have a much more bearish stance, looks like it's potentially coming to fruition. So we'll take a look at that here in the charts for sure. And we will also make sure that we take a look at XRP, Ethereum, as far as what we could expect if Bitcoin was to go up or down. As far as our biggest gainers today, not too many. We have Revain up 13%, but after that, it is just stable coins or the DAIs and only losers as far as today goes, right? But we're also having a rough day in the stock market, lots of things kind of selling off there. So potentially further consolidation or downside to be expected from crypto. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, though, we can see that we've formed this bearish pennant, some sort of symmetrical triangle, but either way, we have a resistance above we can't get, and we have two lines of potential support. If Bitcoin was to have some sort of move to the upside here in the short term, we could see this dominance pop up here, and then from there, we could get some pump in the altcoins. So we could see Ethereum go up a little bit, XRP, pick your favorite altcoin. We may see some money come back to them if Bitcoin can at least maintain some price action. In my world, I want to see it above 32 for sure, but more comfortably in the 36 to 40 range. That way it shows we're actually building some higher supports and potentially potentially breaking up to the upside to show that the bulls have strength again. But as of now, we're still seeing a lot of bearish notes. We still have lots of FUD out there towards all crypto in general. So, we could still see further downside. So, I'm still sticking to the same strategy. When I get extra, I'm dollar cost averaging into the cryptos that I like. I am waiting for a big move. My thesis is still that Bitcoin is not done this cycle, that we will still at least see some sort of rally to the upside to at least retest the top. If this is a bear market, we'll come up somewhere around 70% close to the top, so we might hit 50, 55. So at least one more pump, in my opinion, will occur, even if this is a bear market. And just to represent this, I pulled up the large descending triangle that we had back in 2017, where price action after the top came down, we came up back to 11,000 after it dropped to 6, and then it came back down. So we had this 50% drop or over 50% drop, and we had a huge pump and came down. So I redrew this over here because what if we are in a bear market? What if I'm wrong, right? I'm not the Mr. All-Knowing. I don't know everything. If this was to occur again, we're still expecting that one more pump. I don't believe this was enough to signify a true pattern of this magnitude playing out without at least a pump back up to around 40 minimum. So these are some of the things that I'm waiting for, but I still think that we're just going to chop around here. To me, I don't care if we drop down lower, because if we drop down lower, I'm willing and prepared to wait it out 4 years, right? But I just don't think that's going to happen. So I just want to make sure you guys know that, yes, the bearish scenario could still happen at any point, but to me, there are more signs pointing that we will have at least one more big pump to at least set a new high. Maybe not up here to 500,000 or 500,000 or 250,000 like some of the charts that I have shown before represent. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but if a true euphoria rally occurs, it's very possible. My more realistic thing is we'll come up to a little bit over 100, maybe 115. We'll try to stay at 100,000, but in the end, we'll come back down to around 65, and we'll make this pattern up here, and much later. So I'm thinking more like this will be our, what do you call it, bear market. In 2022 to 23, we'll have something like this, where still Bitcoin is trading above this $65,000 range. That's just my thing. I'm just a doctor/idiot. This is not financial advice. This is just what I think and what I see. So I give it to you guys, and you can make your best decision. If you lose money in the markets, it is not my fault. And if you make money in the markets, it is also not my fault. I helped you do it. So you could say I helped you lose money, but in that case, that's still your fault, right? Because I'm not trying to take any of the credit if you make money. So that's on you. And that's my whole goal by all of this. This chart here was just to show some of the ways we got these like higher price action based off of previous Fibonacci levels, as well as this other logarithmic scale of the whole chart of Bitcoin on Fibonacci. So when we look at that, we would at some point be very likely to reach the top of at least this level here. So that there puts us at that $100,000 to $100,000 to $20,000 range as like a peak high. And then, yeah, we could consolidate further there, or we could overshoot it and get up to something much, much higher. So only reason I bring that up is because that's still my stance, regardless of what little sideways action we have right now. Looking at the Bitcoin futures, we had some good questions in Twitch today, so I wanted to make sure to go over this quickly. We have a couple different gaps, and you can judge the gaps based off of whether or not you want to include wicks. I'm including only candle bodies, and we do have a futures gap above us between, looks like roughly 45 to 48,000, but we also have three gaps below. We have this one here, 22 to 27. We've got this one roughly at around 19,000. And then the famous one that got everybody thinking about futures contracts in general was this one skip down here at 93 or 98 to 9,900 range that we still haven't filled. And if enough people sell off, it could be a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we actually do fill this gap down here. Although if Bitcoin drops down to 10K, I will be buying back in again, because that's the first price I bought at before I sold at around 38. So that's what we're seeing here. We can see we're trading right between it. It's consolidating, but to me, I see this as kind of like a big W pattern forming after a drop. And at some point here, in probably the next 1 to 2 weeks, we will start to show signs where we're back above the 20 daily exponential moving average. And when applying this to, say, where was it at? Like the Wyckoff accumulation here, we're coming to the end of a symmetrical triangle. At the same time, we're on key support. So the next step would be to break up and then start showing some signs of strength that we could potentially go higher. And they said all these support and resistances are the same. I've only been moving the phases around because we know where phase B starts, but we don't know where we entered C until we got to here. Now we don't know when we're leaving C and going to D, or potentially going lower until more time passes. So for right now, we are waiting, but we're getting closer and closer to some sort of price action happening here for Bitcoin. We usually don't make it all the way to the end of a pattern. So this is 1 week from today. So this is Monday. This would be next week's Monday. So sometime either this week, we could see a break to the downside, or we could see that break to the upside. I still think the upside breakout is probably still more likely, roughly 60% versus 40% likely to go down. But the closer we get to this, just pay attention. If we start closing below this line here, we've had some fake outs, but if we're down here, it's still more likely now that we're going to go down than go up. So be sure to keep a level head, not trading at the moment, waiting to see where this goes. Where we've been following Ethereum, same thing, but now it looks like we've closed below our previous pattern as a confirmation down to the downside. But what if this moving average holds a support? There's the kicker. We do have EIP 1559 coming to the main net here in the next couple weeks, as if that all goes smoothly, that could potentially cause an influx of Ethereum buying where we could get back up to $2,500, $3,000 level. But we're still watching it. If we take a look at a fan version of the spread and volatility here, we can see that volatility has continued to increase as we expand. And, if we look at this same type of chart on previous things, we had one more explosive move before we hit the end. Well, in Ethereum's case, it has two more if we want to compare it back to the 2017 rally. So that could be something like this before the end of the year, right? So another thing down before we actually set new highs of 10,000 potentially, right? So as far as XRP goes, we had one really good thing that we were relying on, and it's still kind of in play, but it's getting a little riskier. When we look at just this support resistance all the way across in the history here from 2017, resistance, we moved to the upside here, but now if we get really close and zoom in here, we're getting to the point where we may potentially drop below this line. So if this doesn't hold as support, he said we will probably get down to the 40s on XRP. I doubt any lower than 32, but we could see that extreme price action on XRP. Now, I do expect that we will have a nice consolidation right at these levels. If we do drop down below, it'll be short-lived. I think, my opinion only, that this will hold really well. And if we start to have some good news with XRP, whether it's a lawsuit, some sort of new type of tech that's being utilized that was happening in the shadows that we didn't know of. Like I said, Ben at BitBoy Crypto was talking about some sort of hybrid coin. Never heard of this. Most of my research, I have no way to prove that any of that is accurate. So like I said, I'd like to have a discussion with him if he would be so inclined. If not me, at least someone like Matt Hamilton, Matt at Moon Lambo, you could pick. BC Backer. There's a lot of people who are very XRP motivated and, really know a lot of information about it. So that's probably going to do it for this video here today. Like I said, we're kind of in a tough spot. A lot of things are are right at the edge of resistance, but this is where people get scared, so right now could be actually the best time to buy, which I will be buying more crypto tomorrow. So we can go over what I'm buying, how I'm buying it, and the whole strategy behind it, because we're going to go over if I had 10 grand to invest, how I would do it right now. So that's it, guys. I will catch you in the next one.